Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Breaking news tonight out of Mantic, where police say a domestic dispute turned into a stabbing. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Police have been at the scene of this incident on Milk Street all night long.
And that's where we find Fox 61's Kayla Cade with more on the incident. Kayla.
Hey guys, yeah, the police, as you guys can see, they are still on the scene here, and there's caution tape blocking off this area. Now, it all happened around 5:30 p.m. at the apartment complex you see behind me. Police say, like you guys said, this was a domestic dispute. Now, it involved two people. Police say when they arrived to the scene, they determined the dispute between the two had escalated and someone had used a kitchen knife in the fight. Police say they were both transported to Wyndham Hospital, and from there, both individuals were transported to different hospitals for further treatment. Police reported both people suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Mantic police are still investigating this incident. They say this is no threat to the public, and we will continue to update you as we continue to learn more. In Mantic, Kayla Cade, Fox 61.
All right, Kayla, thank you. Also breaking tonight, a man has died after a crash this afternoon in Winchester. State police say the crash happened on Route 8 near exit 55. The man, 32-year-old Kenneth Martin, went off the side of the road and crashed into a tree, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Anyone who might have witnessed the crash is being asked to contact State Police Troop B.
We'll keep following these breaking news stories. Use the QR code there on your screen and download our free Fox 61 News app or go to fox61.com for all the latest details.
All right, turning to the weather now. We're looking at some snow moving in about maybe 24 hours from now.
A lot of us go, wait, snow. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a first look at the forecast. Are we talking much at all, Rachel?
No, not very much, but just enough that you're going, okay, yes, it is indeed still winter. And of course, we're reminded by that when we feel the temperature outside, but we haven't had a whole lot of snow. So we're talking about a few flakes, flurries, light scattered snow showers tomorrow evening between around 5 to 10 p.m. But here's something to celebrate. Less wind. In fact, we are already feeling it outside tonight. Only Torrington is reporting a gust of 16 miles an hour, and we'll keep these gusts much lower, around 5 to 15 miles an hour as we head through the evening tonight. And that's the way it will stay tomorrow with the calmer wind. Right now, temperatures are in the 20s for most of the state, but even with a bit of a breeze, it's sending the wind chill down into the teens. Radar is quiet right now, but again, we could see a few flakes on there heading into tomorrow evening. Overnight lows will dip back into the teens. That's where we start tomorrow morning. And I think high temperatures tomorrow will be very similar, if not exactly the same as today. But without the wind, 33 in Wallingford feels so much warmer than it did outside today, a lot more comfortable. 31 in Colchester, 30 in Mansfield. We'll start the day off with some sunshine, then we'll see increasing clouds through the afternoon, a high of 28 degrees in Winstead, 31 in Marlborough, and then we'll see that chance for a few flurries or light scattered snow showers tomorrow night. We'll take a look at a late week warm up once the snow showers kick out of here, and when we could see a little bit more rain and snow in the forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. A ceasefire deal has been reached between Israel and Hamas 15 months after war broke out in Gaza.
Mediators say both sides have agreed to a three-phase deal, and in it, the release of dozens of hostages held by militants in Gaza and hundreds of Palestinian prisoners in Israel. Qatar's prime minister says the deal will not officially go into effect until Sunday. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says final details still need to be ironed out.
Now, Fox 61's Stefan Reel spoke with members of the Jewish and Palestinian communities here in Connecticut about this development, and tonight he shares their reaction to the news.
While the news of the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas has been huge and could signify a big shift in the conflict in the Middle East, several people here stateside in Connecticut tell me this is a bittersweet moment.
After 15 months of deadly warfare in the Middle East, President Joe Biden announced the finalization of a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas.
This is one of the toughest negotiations I've ever experienced.
The deal would see 33 hostages reunited with their families after more than 460 days. The ceasefire would continue as long as both groups continue to work towards a long-term truce.
It's a tremendous relief across our community. At the same time, there's deep concern.
Here in Connecticut, David Warren with the Jewish Federation of Greater Hartford prepares for his own trip to Israel in the coming days. But he worries Hamas will regroup after the exchange of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. He's hesitant this deal will be the final end to the violence in the region.
This deal is important. People are exhausted, and so it's really important that the U.S. and Israel keep the pressure on to prevent Hamas from doing that and to liberate the people of Gaza.
On the other side of the conversation, those same sentiments are being felt.
With the news of the ceasefire, what were your initial reactions?
I think the main point that we're going to focus on is right now, this is a marginal victory at best.
Basel al-Najjar with Palestinian activist and humanitarian group We Will Return remains cautious for the people in Gaza and pointed to Israel's history of violations with the ceasefire in Lebanon.
That exact lack of international accountability is why we are doubting the genuineness of the ceasefire as well as the long-term outlook for our people in Palestine. So don't get me wrong, we're hopeful that this signals a change in tide and life for our people right now.
We've lost so much as a people.
For Jenna Raba, this includes the loss of her 2 uncles and 3 cousins in Gaza. And she says it's why, even with this hope of a ceasefire, she continues to work alongside We Will Return to provide food and medical care for people in Palestine.
That as Palestinians, our activism didn't start last year and it's not going to stop this year. And we're going to build up Gaza just like we have time and time again.
The eyes of the world are now on Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his cabinet to sign off on this ceasefire. And if they do, this 6-week deal could go into effect on Sunday the 19th. But at the moment, the Prime Minister's office has not confirmed the deal. But for now, in Hartford, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
All right, Stefan, thank you. A major development in the fight against violence here in Hartford. 7 alleged members of the Hood Star G's gang are facing federal charges tonight. The allegations include murder, attempted murder, drug trafficking, gun trafficking, extortion, robberies, vehicle theft, arson, and others. The FBI says the gang started in 2010, and they say when the gang's leader was killed by a rival gang in 2011, that's when the violence started to ramp up. The FBI says there were multiple violent crimes, including murder, between 2019 and 2022.
The shootings were not limited to the members of these violent gangs, but inevitably affected innocent victims just trying to live their lives. Most of this criminal activity occurred in residential neighborhoods. There's a community center, an event hall, multiple churches within a block of where Hartford PD recovered over 50 spent shell casings after one single shooting incident.
The gang's members also face charges for illegal possession of firearms, including guns that could be converted into machine guns. To read the full 15-page indictment, just head over to fox61.com.
Well, tonight, a pedestrian's in the hospital with serious injuries. A driver hit them on I-95 in West Haven. Police say it happened near exit 42 just before 12:30 this afternoon. Crews shut down the highway for more than 5 hours, which caused delays. We'll update you as soon as we learn more.
An East Haven teenager will go to prison after being found guilty for a deadly stabbing back in 2023. 17-year-old Jeter Simmons was sentenced today. Back in May of 2023, police say he was involved in a big fight outside Tuttle Elementary School in East Haven. Court records say the victim, 15-year-old Dustin Ceccarelli, attacked Simmons from behind before Simmons stabbed Ceccarelli in the chest. Simmons apologized to the family at today's sentencing. He was sentenced to 8 years in prison, suspended after 3 years served, and 3 years probation.
Bristol police are trying to find the men who broke into a home this afternoon. This happened around 2:30 on Maple Street. Police say 3 men in masks broke into a home and pointed their handgun at one of the 2 young people inside the home. They then left in a car. Everyone's okay. It's unknown if the men stole anything. Bristol police are asking anyone with information to give them a call.
Well, Trinity Health is strongly recommending patients wear a mask right now when they go to the doctor's office or to the hospital. The healthcare provider says it has seen a recent uptick in respiratory illness. They say wearing a mask is not required but is recommended. The CDC says masks are effective in reducing the spread of germs. Well, some good news for travelers here in our state. If you've ever driven to New York City to connect at one of their airports for a domestic or international flight, you can now save yourself the trip.
Fox 61's Kate Pattyfoot was at Bradley Airport talking with passengers about a new flight out of Windsor Locks.
A new way to travel to New York City is coming to Bradley International Airport. JetBlue announced a nonstop flight from Windsor Locks to New York's John F. Kennedy Airport beginning April 30th. This announcement from JetBlue is the latest in the carrier's ongoing expansion in Connecticut. JetBlue and the Connecticut Airport Authority says there has been an increase in weekly JetBlue flights from Bradley to various Florida destinations. Bradley Airport previously offered flights on Delta Airline from Windsor Locks to New York City's LaGuardia Airport, but those flights ended last year. Prices for these flights and flight times are not yet available. Passengers say this is good news and offers more opportunities for them to get away to new destinations.
I am going to go on so many vacations now. Just came back from Disney, obviously.
It's great, makes it very convenient, makes it really an international type setup, even though there's Aer Lingus.
Kevin Dillon, the executive director of the Connecticut Airport Authority, released a statement about the new JetBlue flights. Quote, their new service to JFK will not only quickly connect our passengers with New York City, it will also facilitate easy access to JetBlue's domestic and international network. You can still fly internationally out of Bradley Airport, but passengers say this will be more efficient. In Windsor Locks, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
With some new flights at Bradley, there are also some flights being grounded. Avelo Airlines is dropping a third route it had only recently launched out of Bradley. Avelo tells us it will suspend routes from Bradley to Charlotte by the end of March. Earlier this month, Avelo stopped its service from Bradley to Lakeland, Florida and Houston. These all started in November, but Avelo says they didn't meet their expectations. Passengers can still fly to those destinations out of Tweed New Haven Airport.